In 2022, Tunisia beats France, the reigning world champions. That is one of the proudest nights in Tunisian football history. Goalie Kayseri picked up the ball, drove through the defense, and slid it into the corner. Tunisia won 1-0. They still went out because of other results, but that win said something important. This team does not fear giants. So here's the question for 2026. Can Tunisia finally turn brave resistance into a real knockout run? Tunisia has been to the World Cup 6 times before 2026, and they hold a special place in history. In 1978, Tunisia became the first African nation ever to win the World Cup match. That matters a lot. It makes them one of Africa's oldest World Cup trailblazers. Since then, Tunisia has become one of Africa's most consistent teams at getting there. But there's one painful truth hanging over all of it. Tunisia has never reached the knockout stage. That is why the France win in 2022 still matters so much. It proved Tunisia can beat elite teams on the biggest stage. Now the challenge is doing that across a whole tournament, not just one beautiful night.
That is such a hard kind of history. So much pride. Still no knockout run.
Exactly. It's time to prove they can go one step further. Now let's look at the Zen 8-factor analysis of this Tunisia team. Tunisia's attack is not loud, it is sharp. It is not a team that wants 20 shots, it wants the right shot. Mohamed Ali Ben Romdane was the top scorer in qualifying, with 4 goals, including the late goal that sent Tunisia to the World Cup. Hazan Mastori has become a key answer up front and even scored against Brazil in the 1-1 draw. Then out wide, Naim Sliti gives them width and direct danger.
So the attack is not loud, it is precise.
Exactly. Tunisia does not need waves of chances. It needs one clean opening. This is where Tunisia becomes Tunisia. The defense is the soul of the team. I call it the Great Wall of Carthage. This backline produced the best defensive record in African qualifying history. Mostasar Talbi is the anchor, the leader, the organizer. Dylan Brown adds strength and recovery speed. Yan Valery gives the right side energy and running power.
So this defense isn't just there to stop attacks, it actually starts the whole machine.
Exactly. Everything Tunisia wants to become in this tournament starts here. In goal, Tunisia has something every stubborn underdog needs: trust. Ayman Darman was the huge part of that historical qualifying run. He is reliable, quick with his reaction, and the kind of keeper who can keep the plane alive when the pressure hits. Against teams like Netherlands and Japan, he may need to do what big tournament keepers do: steal moments.
So even before you get through the block, you still have to beat him.
Yes, for a team like Tunisia, the keeper does not just save shots, he keeps the dream alive. Even with all this defending, Tunisia still have artists. Hannibal Majabri is the creative spark and the free kick threat. Ismail Gahabi brings flair and a kind of touch that can unlock a packed defense. Ali Abdi is a surprise artist from deep areas, with a lot of goal actions for a defender.
So this team isn't just running and fighting, it actually has a good connection between the back and the front too.
Exactly. Tunisia's artistry is quiet, but it is real. Tunisia's glue is one of the clearest in the whole tournament. This team wants to make the match feel small, crowded, tight, unpleasant. I call it a suffocation mentality. That means Tunisia stays compact, work hard in midfield, and force opponents into lower quality crosses and rushed attacks. That is how they built those 10 straight clean sheets.
So they already speak the same football language.
Exactly. Tunisia wants to squeeze the air out of the match. To help you to get the full World Cup experience, World Cup 6-7 team has built a suite of tools for you, including the Zen 8-factor analysis guide for all 48 teams, progress tracker spreadsheet, recipe book for the signature dishes for all 48 countries, match previews, and a lot more. I will put the link to the Ultimate World Cup 2026 guide bundle in the description below.
Honestly, that's kind of perfect if you want to actually understand the World Cup without feeling lost.
The travel is actually pretty friendly. Tunisia play his first 2 matches in Monterrey, so the early part of the tournament stayed stable. Then the final group game is in Kansas City, which is a longer jump, about 1,585 kilometers. That last move is the tricky one. It means going from the heat of northern Mexico to a different kind of weather in the US plains, right before the biggest game of the group. But there is one big plus: no time zone changes. That helped Tunisia keep its body clock steady.
So even the travel story comes down to tiny details.
Exactly, and for a team built on rhythm and discipline, that matters. Tunisia is stronger in the air than people might think. Montassa Talbi and Dylan Brown give them a solid spine for headers and set pieces. And with Hannibal Majbri's delivery, dead balls are one of Tunisia's best chances to steal goals against stronger sides.
So even if they're not controlling the match, they can still steal it in the air.
Yes, this is one of the oldest truths in tournament football. Set pieces make outsiders dangerous. Now the X factor. For Tunisia, it is psychological defiance. In simple words, this team no longer feels small. After drawing with Brazil and beating France, Tunisia carries itself differently. It knows it can drag bigger teams into ugly, tense, and exhausting matches. And players like Hannibal Majbri brings the kind of energy that makes those games even messier.
So their superpower is basically disciplined chaos.
Exactly, and for a team with this defensive base, that makes perfect sense. So here's my verdict, and honestly, if Tunisia finally breaks the group stage curse, nobody should call it luck. Not after a qualifying run with 0 goals allowed. Not after a draw with Brazil. Not after a win over France. This team knows exactly what it is, and in tournament football, that can matter more than people think.
So are they a sweet underdog story or a team that could genuinely ruin somebody's tournament?
That is exactly the question. And I think a lot of people are going to find Tunisia much harder to play than they expect. Tell me in the comments, how far do you think the Tunisia team can really go? And if you want the full 48 team journey plus the tools behind it, please subscribe and check out the World Cup 6-7 bundle below. Please also check out the music video for the Tunisia remix of the channel theme song. Thank you. I thought it's the World Cup 2026. Why are we called World Cup 6-7?
6-7.